Manga-Waido.
My name is Reiko Tanimura. I'm 29, still single, and living with my folks. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I still don't have a girlfriend. I'm pretty tall and slim, but I'm not really the social type. Some would say I'm just boring. When I go to those drinking parties, I usually just sit back in the corner by myself. When someone asks me a question, I can never reply properly, just sort of mumble something incoherent. I really feel out of place. But with that said, my work is going normally, and I really didn't have any complaints. Well, besides having a name like some anime character. Hey Tanimura! Man, that name. You sure don't look like a Ruito. Yeah, Ruito is like one of those cool characters in an anime. Not a gloomy, boring guy like you. Leave me alone, would ya? I didn't choose the name anyway. It was always like this at work. Always being picked on. It's already April. This is when the new employees joined the company, and our department was also expecting some new staff members. That new recruit, Reiko Asukai. The name sure doesn't match the actual person. What's with these guys and their obsession with people's names? She's a perfect match for you, Mr. Gloomy. What a waste, though. She looks well proportioned, but those glasses, tacky hairstyle, and the makeup? Come on, man, give me a break. Yeah, the other girls make her look even worse. Boring, but probably a good worker. That type maybe, huh? These guys are always yapping about people just by how they look. The new girl, Reiko, did look like the serious and quiet type, so everybody made up their minds that she was boring but a competent worker. But...
I'm so sorry!
Hey, come on, Asukai! You're in the way, for God's sake!
Sorry. I took this over there, but they told me I brought it to the wrong section, so...
I said it was the section next door, not here! You didn't hear me, right? Forget it. I'll ask someone else.
I'm so sorry.
Turns out she was not really all that competent. I figured she'd get used to things over time, but it was not the case. After almost 6 months, she still didn't get the hang of it.
My god, that Reiko is so darn slow. It's infuriating. Better if she would just quit. We'd sure get more work done.
My coworkers used to chide me, but they've turned their criticism towards an easier target. She seems a bit awkward, but nothing drastic. Just part of her personality, in my opinion. Actually, I can see that she's really trying, and gradually, I started to have an interest in her. I wonder if there's anything I can do to help her. But all I could do was help her here and there with little things. And by the time I realized it, a year had passed since she had started. One day, I saw her taking out the trash. Huh? Did we always have this much trash? There was an enormous amount of trash, as if it were saved just for today. In addition, the trash hadn't been properly sorted for recycling. Was this on purpose? Excuse me, let me give you a hand with that.
Huh? But should you?
Don't worry about it. So the plastic stuff goes over here, right?
Yes, that's right. That's the heavy one.
Well, I work out a bit. No problem. We were both the quiet types, so we went about our work without much chit-chat. Just a thank you when we finished. But for some reason, I felt comfortable just being with her. If someone like Miss Asukai was my girlfriend... No. Get that thought right out of your head, buddy! I immediately cleared my head of such silly thoughts and said goodbye to her and headed home. After that, the days continued as usual. I didn't really progress any further with Miss Asukai, but one day as I arrived home, someone was standing in front of my house. Even from far away, I could see that she was quite pretty. I have a sister about the same age, so I figured it was one of her friends, and was about to say hello when...
Excuse me, but this is Ryuto Tanimura's residence, right?
That voice sounded familiar. Is that you, Miss Asukai?
Yeah, that's right.
Huh? But you... Really? She looked so different because she wasn't in her usual office clothes. Apart from that, why does she know where I live? After that surprise encounter, we headed to a local restaurant to talk.
I just wanted to thank you for helping out that time. Remember with the trash? And I got to thinking.
It seems she talked to her cousin about her coworkers giving her a hard time at work.
She said that I should record their harassment and take that to HR or some other department to, maybe get some advice. Do you have such a department?
With that, she showed me her little voice recorder. Apparently she had recorded various incidents of her coworkers harassing her. Well, I heard of such a department. My previous boss was in charge of compliance, so I guess he would know. He'll probably know what to do. I'll introduce you to him.
Really? That's great! Could you come with me and introduce me?
Yeah, sure. No problem. Oh yeah, by the way, why do you know where I live?
Well, truth be told, I went to school with your sister. We used to live nearby and often play together.
Oh yeah, I kinda remember you. Weren't you the girl who used to always wear that hairband? You didn't wear glasses back then, if I recall.
Yeah, the ones I wear at work. Those are fake glasses. I got my reasons for wearing them.
According to her, she lived overseas from elementary school to high school due to her father's job. Because she was quite pretty even as a child, she started to get this irrational fear of men and used glasses as a diversion. Maybe it was because of this, but her parents opted to come back to Japan, where they thought she would be safer. But even after returning, she still attracted the unwanted attention of men. So she purposely dressed unfashionably and as plain as possible. Good-looking girls have a hard time too. Kind of a weird thing to say. Afterwards, I made an appointment with my former boss, Mr. Takahashi, and got his advice. Mr. Takahashi always had a soft spot for me, and he listened to her problem with care. Thanks for consulting with me. I will immediately investigate the matter, so rest assured. With those reassuring words, we were given the day off, and Miss Asukai and I left the office together. As we were headed toward the station, Miss Asukai turned toward me and...
Excuse me, Mr. Tanemura.
What is it? What's up?
Is my hairstyle or face, weird?
Weird? No, not at all. In fact, you look really pretty. Beautiful, in fact.
Wow, really? I'm so glad. I wanted for you, Mr. Tanemura, to see me.
Huh? Me? Why me?
Well, not only that you helped me at work, of course, but I'm not sure if you remember, but I fell off my bicycle a long time ago, and you helped me back then, too.
Oh yeah. Come to think of it, I do remember I helped my sister's friend when she fell off her bike. I think it was right before I started high school. Oh yeah. The kid spilled all her candy on the street and was bawling her eyes out. Was that you?
Yeah, that's right. That was me. You remember.
Her face lit up with such joy. Man, she looked so cute at the moment. I bet my face was red as a beet then. I'm not sure what I could do for her, but at that moment, I made a promise to myself that I would protect her no matter what. Then, several months later, Mr. Takahashi made his move. For starters, Miss Asakai's boss got transferred. He apparently witnessed the harassment but failed to do anything about it. In addition, the co-workers who had harassed her were called out one by one, and they were severely reprimanded. Okay, listen up and listen carefully. We encourage constructive criticism and fully support you in arguing facts, but we will not tolerate any of you dragging others down and harming the reputation of this company. If you are still not able to comply after this warning, a corporate lawyer will intervene and charges could be brought for defamation. If you do not agree with these policies, I ask that you resign from this company. The strict words from Mr. Takahashi really had an effect on my coworkers. They were utterly flabbergasted. There were some that actually got sued, and several even ended up resigning. After that, I eventually worked my way up to a manager's position. It seems that little incident led to my bosses, including Mr. Takahashi, realizing my potential and promoting me. And on the private side, I occasionally go out with Reiko on, dates. Then one day, although I was still that shy and quiet guy, I got all my courage up and said, Reiko, please go out with me. Be my girlfriend. Officially? I extended my hand toward her, and she gently grasped it and nodded her head in acknowledgement. Really? Are you sure?
Of course. I've always had affection for you, ever since you helped me when I fell off my bicycle way back when.
I was euphoric. In high heaven. I felt much stronger with this bond. I had a lot more confidence in myself. This little incident changed everything for me. I started studying to become an administrative lawyer. Although I was not able to do much for her, from now on, I plan to use my knowledge and experience to protect her from harm. That's the kind of guy I will be. Mark my words.